We all want to do what's best for our clubs, and as such, we continue to try to find new and better ways to reach out to and work with our members, volunteers, donors, and other supporters. In today's training, we'll help you discover 3 ways to better engage with your members. We encourage you to use these talking points as the beginning of a larger conversation on building an engagement strategy for your club. In today's world of overscheduling and information overload, it's easy to become bogged down in the minutiae of what we know. We hear the same voices saying the same things so often that we quit listening, and we fall victim to the habit of talking to people rather than talking with people. The same is true when it comes to your club membership. It's the way we've always done things. It's an old adage that we've all heard and maybe even said before. This frame of mind can prevent your member engagement strategy from ever being truly effective, but with a few changes, you can bring a fresh perspective to how you're communicating and working with your members. The first step begins with changing up the way we ask our members questions. We've all used form surveys to gather feedback from members over the years, but have you ever taken the time to really listen? What are your members' pain points? Are there programs that aren't working for them? And what part of being in your club has helped them improve their lives? So how do we do this differently? Think outside the box by holding one-on-one conversations, small group discussions, or even a well-moderated town hall meeting at a regional convention the next time you need member feedback. Make sure that you're keeping the questions focused on what's relevant, but allow for follow-up when necessary. Social media, Facebook in particular, can also be a great place to ask member questions, run quick polls, and foster open discussions on potential programs, events, and other ideas your club might be considering. The second way to improve our engagement with members happens when we acknowledge the value of new voices. Of course, this typically applies to your first-year members. After all, new members can breathe life into a club, and listening to them can help you get a new point of view. However, you may find that new voices in your club can actually come in the form of those who've been members for years, but never really contributed or gotten involved. These inactive members can be a great source to tap when looking at engagement issues in particular. Our methods here can be in person, over the phone, or in writing. It may mean catching up with someone after a club meeting, assigning a team of volunteers to make check-in phone calls, or conducting a traditional survey. Things to talk about with members at this time might include things like what they hope to get out of their membership, how well-oriented they feel they are about the club, what volunteer opportunities they would like to get involved in, and what programs they need more information about. It's also a great time to make sure they're getting your email updates and remind them about your social media. Keep in mind, when working with your new members in particular, give them a few months to be part of your club first so that they have an idea of how things work and what they'd like to see improve. And third, don't be reactive. If you're anything like me, this one can be particularly difficult. However, since being open and honest is intimidating for many members, it's important to remain as calm and unbiased as possible when tough issues arise. It is equally critical that we handle these situations carefully. You want to foster an environment where people feel free and comfortable to share their thoughts and ideas. If you've been involved in leadership for any length of time, you know that many members just need the opportunity to vent. They might not even really want you to do anything about their issue. That's why leaders need to actively listen and discern what is actually being said without becoming defensive. Sometimes, simply listening is enough. And when it's not, it's important that you're as honest and transparent as possible. Don't let your response become too muddled, or it will lack the authority and trustworthiness that members seek and demand. You also want to make sure that your response is timely and provides any additional information or clarity that was promised. Here are a few other things you can do in your efforts to care for this part of your member engagement strategy. Thank members for their participation in the process. They've taken time out of their busy schedules to provide you with feedback, so we should show our gratitudes for their efforts in return. Have a suggestion box that allows your members to give feedback anonymously. This might come in the form of a physical box at your club meetings or an online form on your club's website. Take notes when you speak with members, whether it's at your next gathering, after a committee meeting, or just when someone contacts you with a question. Keep a notebook handy to jot down any ideas, common questions, or other important pieces of information. This can be great info to pass on to other club leaders. Share your results with your club. If you gather feedback from members, let them know what was said as a whole and how your club plans to proceed as a result. Along those same lines, when you do have your findings, make sure that you're actually using them. Members love to know that what they've said not only matters, it also inspired new ideas and fostered change. This concludes today's training. We hope that you're walking away with some new ideas on how your club can improve its membership engagement strategy. You can find additional trainings and informational resources on membership and many other topics in the Sertoma Member Center at members.sertoma.org. We also encourage you to join the conversation with your fellow Sertomans in our Facebook group at the link on your screen.